Hi, friends. So, my original plan was to do my chapters in different locations and give you guys, and I will continue to do that. Like my last ones were at the Great Salt Plains where we just came from. But today, I go boo boo. And so I'm stuck here. And so I'm going to do a couple of chapters today from the comfort of my own home. Alf and I are ready to do some reading for you. We're on chapter 5. Recap. Amy just got back from New York. She was visiting her friend. She did her speech in Washington, and then she went to New York to visit uh, Ben. And now she's heading back to Boston to do her interview with. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, ready? Chapter 5. The idea. Amy arrived back in Boston the following afternoon. Jim greeted her calmly and affectionately. She knew his calm demeanor was only for her benefit, but she appreciated it. He helped her unpack. She told him about Ben, Mara, and her dad. He told her about the paper he's been working on and a rally he had attended while she was gone, but alas, he couldn't hold it in any longer. I told Bob we would meet him at 6 at his office. I hope that's okay. I wanted to give you enough time to decompress decompress a bit beforehand. He has a lot of questions for you, he said, trying to keep his demeanor to an acceptable level. Amy kissed him on the cheek. That's fine, she said affectionately. So tell me about your plan. And right on cue, he exploded. She knew it was going to happen. He's been doing a good job of keeping it down. We're going to Thomas Paine them, he said with a burst of enthusiasm. She knew who Thomas Paine was. Before the American Revolution, Thomas Paine wrote and published a pamphlet called Common Sense. At that time, most colonists were against a revolution in England. In these pamphlets, Paine explained why a revolution was necessary and why we should support it, in language most people could understand. After following his pamphlets for several years, the majority of the population agreed and supported the revolution. If we can get the public to understand what this is about and how it can benefit the country and the world, they will have to put it on a ballot. We can start here in Boston. Hopefully, the news will spread. We can also create an online petition to help draw attention to our case. If people want it, they won't have a choice. He let out his breath and hunched over a bit. He'd been holding that in for so long. It was apparent that it was an apparent release for him to finally get it off his chest. She grinned, and he smiled widely back at her. Then she shouted with a burst of excitement that was almost unlike her. I think you're a genius. That's a great idea. Why didn't you tell me about it before? If you remember, he tried. She was tired and didn't want to talk. She said a little sarcastically. He picked her up and hugged her as tightly as he could. What does one wear when they're about to change the world? She asked him smugly. That was the end of chapter 5. It was a very short chapter, so we're just going to move right on to chapter 6. Bob Roth. You know, Bob, I respect you, but you're asking a lot from me here, said Jack Turner, Bob's publisher at the newspaper. It's not just your neck on the line, not just your neck you're putting on the line. It's mine, too, and the paper's. I know, but I think it'll be worth it. If this thing takes off how I think it will, this column could be the next big thing, Bob explained. You believe in this, huh? Jack asked. I do. I'm willing to stake my career on it. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not just your career. Listen, Jack, this could change everything. Imagine it. Every single way of life could be altered by this proposal if it passes. There won't be a single person in the United States who won't somehow be affected by these changes. We're talking about history here. This is history in the making, and we have the chance to participate. Not just to participate in it, but to help create it and to mold it, Bob explained. Well, I do know this. That friend of yours, okay, Bob explained. How well do you know this friend of yours? Sometimes I read what I thought I was going to write, and then I didn't write that line, and then I still read it, but I changed the line. Sorry. How well do you know this friend of how well do you know this friend of yours that's getting you into this? Jack asked. I've known him since we were kids. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but we recently got back in touch. It's his girlfriend that's behind all of this. Amy Bryant is her name. She's already met with Congress to present her proposal. The issue is GWC. GWC, Jack interrupted. Yeah, she's afraid they're in the pockets of the politicians and will block her proposal. Oh, so you also want to make enemies of arguably the greatest and most powerful corporation in the country? Yes, Bob said unapologetically. I want to be on the front lines of this project. We have a chance to make we have a chance to make history here. We can make we can take the easy road like everyone else and report the same watered down crap, or we can shake things up. The people are ready for this. They want things shaken up. Besides, when is another opportunity like this going to come along? This is it. This is our window to fame. I can see why you're a writer. You should have been a used car salesman, Jack said wisely. So you'll do it? Here's the deal. How about if we run one column and test the water? If the feedback isn't too terrible, then we can run another. That's all I'm promising for now. I'll take it, Bob said happily. You better be right about this, Jack replied. 2 short chapters. The interview will be in the next video.